Max Zepeda with the Walter Cronkite Sports Network here with two of Arizona State's star defensive linemen, Clayton Smith and CJ Fite. Gentlemen, obviously this is kind of a homecoming for both of you. You guys are both Texans. You guys are both back here. Obviously, Clayton, this is your second media day experience. CJ, your first. What has it been like for both of you? You guys both have family in the building, actually, from what I know.
Yes, it's been an experience for sure. I didn't know what to expect coming in. Clay tried to tell me a little bit, talking about what all they did last year, but this year I'm experiencing firsthand. It's a lot going into it. Didn't know it was this much. We've been moving everywhere. Maybe like stop for like 5 minutes. You sit, take a sit down. It's like, all right, somebody brings you. All right, let's go. It's like, all right, here we go. But it's an experience that you just have to embrace and appreciate. So it's been fun.
And I would imagine going from Las Vegas to now being close to home, Clayton, is very much of a different feel, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's definitely a different feel. Last year was very fun, eventful. This year it's more of a homecoming. You know what I'm saying? It's really a great feeling to have my family in the building, to be able to see me, you know what I'm saying, do some stuff like this, get it behind the scenes. So it's really a great experience.
And before we get to the actual football, first these suits. My goodness. I mean, you guys, CJ was describing me before we came on the air. You guys were both supplied these, and these are both Pat Tillman Foundation sponsored, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to get
We can take home. Yeah, we can unbutton these here, and yeah, you can show them both. Yeah, both at the same time. Look at these. So these are both founded by the Pat Tillman Leadership Council, which you guys are both a part of, and obviously as someone who's been to spring camp and has seen you guys practice full time, you guys talk about the Pat Tillman Leadership Council a lot and how much it's important to be a part of that community and be a part of that council. Considering so much of this team is returning this year, I would imagine, for both of you guys, this is obviously very much a council. You guys feel like you're both leaders of the team, but at the same time, it feels at least that there's so many veterans that almost everyone's kind of a leader in their own way. Would you guys agree or disagree with that?
I agree, and I feel like that's a great team should be. You feel me? I feel like you can't just have those that are the coaches and those that are designated to lead the lead. I feel like everybody has to be a leader in their own way. Everybody has to abide to the standard in their own way, and that's how you get everybody bought in.
Yeah, going off what Clayton said, you want a team that's player-led, not coach-fed, and our coaches kind of instill that since day one. And with the players we have, everybody, like you said, everybody's a leader. Everybody, you can learn something from everybody on the team. So we've made it known, like, just because you're not on the leadership council doesn't mean you're not a leader. People don't look up to you. So it's just a matter of just taking that role and taking that accountability that you have and just keeping it pushing and just taking your work day in, day out and just grinding.
It's one thing to exemplify that leadership day in, day out. It's another thing to showcase that on the field. And in many ways, you guys both really showcased that, especially for much of last year, even when this team wasn't getting probably the eyeballs that probably you guys thought it should have gotten. But at the same time, now entering this year with all of the eyeballs that are now going to be on you, do you feel like that leadership and that veteran presence is just as important, or do you feel like that there's more that this team, there's more that the country doesn't necessarily know about this program and this team yet, even though so many of you guys are back?
I feel like it's just as important. I don't feel like the eyeballs on the outside should determine how we lead as the inside or how we lead on the inside. I feel like, we should be self-motivated regardless of what the outside has to think. And I feel like we've done that so far this year. I feel like we've really put all our eggs in our basket, and we've been making strides in the right direction. And I'm really proud of where this team has come and where we're going to go.
Yeah, and you would agree with that?
100%. Everybody has their own why. Everybody has their own reason for what they're doing. So what everybody says on the outside doesn't affect what we're doing. I mean, it's just, just something else you hear. Whether, like, I've heard a lot of people say treat the good the same way you treat the bad. Like, we're treating the same as we treat everybody down. It's the same as these expectations. So it's like nothing changes. We keep our work we keep everything the main thing, keeping our work. I'm not going to say the same because each year you have to elevate. Like, you're expecting more of yourself or of each other. But the way we go about work is going to be the same. So it's just getting that happening and getting that going. It's making it work.
Right, absolutely. And I had a long, in-depth conversation with one of you guys' closest teammates, Justin Watley, right before we left for spring break. And we basically was very emblematic of the fact that this group, you guys, the D-line, are so emblematic of what this leadership, not only the leadership of you guys as a position group, but really as an entire team, very much embody. I just want for both of you guys who are both not only teammates with him, but a part of that room, what does it mean for you guys that not only so much of that room is back, but at the same time, you guys are not only leaders, but you guys are kind of all, it's like almost one unit. It's a collective unit. Have you guys both kind of seen that as you guys are now carrying from the success of last year into now?
Most definitely, when you bring as many guys back as we did, you either go one or two ways. You can either get better or you can get worse, and I feel like we've gotten better, I feel like we've had guys step up into more leadership roles, and I feel like as a collective, the D-line, we just more sound, we're more disciplined, we're more consistent in what we do, and I feel like that's a testament to what we've done over this past offseason.
Clay said everything. Really, our D-line kind of, really every position group, since we're talking about D-line, our D-line kind of shows just how our whole program works. You know, like the way we go about work, how hard we work when we're doing it, and how fun we have while we're doing it. So it's just every day you're gonna laugh. Every day you're gonna be held accountable. Like we have those hard conversations. We have those times where it gets heated. But at the same time, if you want to be great, if you want to have a great team, I mean, that's what you expect from each other. You expect somebody. We say it, instead of calling out, we say calling up. So we don't want to call anybody out. We want to call them up and bring them up. So it's just everybody has on the same level because you're only strong as your weakest link. So you know, we just go about the work the same every time.
And I would imagine that what Coach Tyron Reynolds brings for both of you, I would say, promotes that culture very much so. I think you guys both agree with that.
He's more laid back, and once he figures out, we've learned how he does things. He'll sit back and he'll wait for us to handle it, and then if it's not handled, then he'll address it, and then he'll be like, but my biggest thing I didn't like is nobody said this, nobody did this. So it's like you kind of are pushed into that role of like calling each other out, and not everybody can do that because not everybody has that relationship. Somebody will call somebody out. Well, we call it up, but somebody calls somebody out, like say another team, somebody calls somebody out, but they don't have that relationship that we have. So now it's a matter of, are we not cool anymore? But we have that relationship and that brotherhood where, just like when I'm at the house with my brother, we're fighting 5 minutes later, then we're over here sitting on the couch watching TV. So it's just having that relationship and that family aspect. It changes a lot of aspects of how you go about things, how you lead.
Yeah. Now, one last serious question before we at least get a little bit more bright up. Obviously, both Coach Dillingham and Commissioner Brett Yormark talked about the elimination of the preseason poll. You guys both were very loud. I can still remember, Clayton, your almost exclamation following the Kansas State game saying they said we was last, and having that kind of be the branding of really you guys holding it back and saying you weren't acknowledging it, but at the same time, it was on your mind still, honestly. But at the same time, now that the poll is gone and that almost do you guys feel like that team and that past, even though you guys are trying to move on, do you feel like you guys kind of broke the system in a way that where it's like the poll is like, you want to take this one? Do you guys feel like that, like, because, I mean, it's an honest question. Do you feel like that the poll now no longer being a factor within the entire league? Do you feel like that because of what happened last year that there's a reason to be like, you know what? You know, anything is possible in a league like this?
I'm not gonna say we broke the system, but I'll say as you do anything, you live and you learn. You know, like you find better ways to do things, and I think that's what they did. The Big 12 did. You know, obviously they brought a whole bunch of teams in. It was new, and the Big 12 is so crazy how somebody can win this game and then lose this game. It's just you just never know with the Big 12. So as obviously the year went on and they kind of going on to the next year, they you know, you try to fix things and revise things, and that's one thing they revised. You know, I wouldn't say it's because of us. Maybe it's just because you never know in the Big 12. So it's just a matter of, you know, they're just trying to improve, just like we're just trying to improve. They try to find different things, and that's one of the things they found that maybe it's not needed. So that's just something that they chose. But I wouldn't say it's just because of us.
Right. You would agree with that?
No, I agree.
Yeah. No other comment to add. A little bit more brighten up here before we wrap this up, guys. You guys were just joking, kind of like of not only you guys' sensibilities, but also the fact that you guys are so similar, both being from here and both obviously kind of aging into what this team has now become. So a little bit of a fun game here. You mentioned right before we came on that you think he's the better dancer of you two, correct? Mm-hmm. Why is that?
He's smooth, you know what I'm saying? CJ, he got rhythm, you know what I'm saying? Every little TikTok dance that go viral, he coming there hitting it, you know what I'm saying? That's what he do. That's what he do.
Suave. You see what I'm
Suave.
saying? Suave. You know, that's what I call it.
Okay, gotcha. And just before, I was hearing about your love for not only the food of your kind of your culture and where you come from, but at the same time, like kind of that feeling of necessarily home. Kind of describe which one of you do you feel like has like the better, like, I guess, taste in food, or maybe like when you guys like I guess when you guys are like at a family potluck together, because you guys hang out all the time. I mean, I would imagine like one of you guys has the better taste when it comes, even though you guys both grew up in similar areas.
You want to start?
I was gonna let you answer.
You want me to answer? I say I'm not gonna say better taste, because you really can't tell, because we really kind of grew up on the same things. So I say we have a similar taste.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything crazy that he just eats that I wouldn't eat. I don't know. You eat chicken?
You ever had, yeah, with hot sauce. Okay. You eat frog legs?
It's horrible taste. I eat frog legs. You eat pig feet?
Yeah, bro. No, that answers the question. The question's answered. Who has a better taste? Me.
if you had chitlins, pig feet, beef tripe, you eat beef tripe too? Okay, no. If you had chitlins and pig feet, okay, no. It's no good.
We have a little disagreement.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
That means it's not good, CJ.
I can't do it. I don't like the taste. I don't like the smell. It throws it all off. You know, I'm not gonna knock him because it's probably something I eat he don't like. But I don't know. I make concoctions. I make like good snacks.
I feel like we did grow up on the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like CJ is a more generic eater. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you don't really put yourself out there. And
My palate has expanded. I ate tuna tartare for the first time.
Wow.
That's
impressive.
You see what I'm saying? Somebody from East Texas, you would never expect me to eat tuna tartare. I did it. You see what I'm saying?
And you say you have an expansive palate.
Yeah. I've tried a lot. I dibble and dabble. You know what I'm saying? I eat pretty much everything. Ross, I've been eating that. That's what I'm saying. That was years ago. Yeah, you getting there. You getting there.
You had peanut butter jelly with pickles. Peanut butter jelly sandwich with pickles.
Wow.
I promise you. Skrill said the same thing. He said, no way. And then I broke him off a piece. He tried it. I'm making one at the facility.
We'll have to see.
Pickle sandwich.
We'll have to come back to this come summer. We'll have to come back to this mid-August, right before the season starts. But one last thing before I let you guys go. Obviously, you guys had the opportunity to come back home again in Lubbock, and obviously with that opportunity against Texas Tech, a game that one of the rare ones that you guys obviously fell on the wrong end of. You guys go to Waco, obviously this year, and you get the opportunity to play Baylor. You get Texas Tech in your building. You get Houston in your building. I mean, obviously, for this kind of to be like your last ride in a way, how cool is it to necessarily have all these Texas opponents on the schedule? And do you have one that you're necessarily most looking forward to, I would say?
I wouldn't say I have one particular I'm looking forward to, but it is great to have all these Texas schools on the roster. It's great that we're going to be coming back to Waco. That means my family are going to be able to, more than just my immediate family, are going to be able to come to the game, and I look forward to it. But as far as one being more important than the next, no, it's just the next game.
Yes, like I said, that Waco game is going to be a big one. It's going to be stressful trying to get all those tickets. I'm already knowing it's going to be a lot of tickets to get, so I need to start working on it now. But, yeah.
And last thing, I just want to point this out. This is just for you, Clayton. I'm going to hold back CJ for this. But the fact that he was named to the preseason all-conference team, there is still an all-conference team, even though there is no longer a poll for the teams, there is still an all-conference team. Of everyone in this D-line room that's so experienced, why do you feel like CJ is the most deserving of an honor like this before a single game is even played, just considering all of the past and everything that's happened just in the last year or two?
I feel like CJ, he checks every box. He does everything right on and off the field. You know what I'm saying? He's selfless. He makes sure he brings up those around him, and I feel like there's no other reason to be deserving of that. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better teammate than CJ. I mean, he always looks out for you. He's the guy on the field whenever I'm caught up or in my head in the last play. Clayton, get down. What's the play? He telling me to play. You know what I'm saying? He's just a great guy. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you know what I'm saying, seeing somebody like that get honored with an award like that, it means a lot. Not just to him, not just to me, but to the entire D-line. It's a testimony to, you know what I'm saying, to what we do.
Clearly, as you
That's my dog. You know, we came here at the same time. We've grown this whole time. So just seeing his growth from how he started, where he's at now, is crazy. You know, and shout out to Rushman. You know, we wouldn't be at none of these awards, none of this would be here without any of those guys. You know, rush that man. So it's like when one person gets something, it's a reward for everybody. So you can't rush alone. Coach Reynolds says that a lot. You can't rush alone. So if I'm rushing, I get a sack, it plays a part. It plays a part. Other D tackles a part. Prince is a part. Jacobs, things like that. You know, so it's not just us. It's not just that one person. It's everybody as a whole. But just to hear that from my dude, it means a lot. You know, we go back and forth.
But I will point out, clearly, you guys have pointed out that preseason awards are in the past now. You got to actually go prove it on the field at this point, and it will be very interesting to obviously get the opportunity to see what you guys put out on the field one last time. But, gentlemen, great honor to obviously speak with you. CJ Fite and Clayton Smith, two very much key eyes to watch in the Arizona State defense starting this August in 2025.